Ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for tuning into the channel. Today we have a video that I'm a little heated about, but I definitely want to share this with you guys because although it might not affect everyone, which it definitely doesn't, Tesla has definitely become a very well-known brand, and their vehicles have been the most popular sold vehicles in the United States for a hot minute now. And as you guys know, as you can see, I currently drive a Tesla. So what am I talking about? Well, over the past year, Tesla, along with pretty much every other car company, has had pretty extreme fluctuations in their sale values, from dealership value, sticker value, I should say. But with Tesla specifically, it's been, I feel, a little different. Since early last year, Tesla has really raised their prices, or really the past 2 years, Tesla has continued to raise their prices nonstop. And this past summer, we started to see a little bit of a slowdown with the increase in pricing, and things have started to slowly but surely reverse. That's great. Everything's good in the hood with most people. But last night, Tesla announced some crazy news, that being massive drops in their vehicle values overnight. We're talking roughly anywhere between 7% to 24%. 24% overnight. Now, this is currently in Europe, I believe, and the US, but it's seeming like it's really coming to light for one main reason, and that's because Tesla just recently dropped their prices in China. And we've been seeing over the past week or two that there has been a lot of protests in China because of this price drop, and honestly, rightfully so. Now, in my scenario, I can't be the most upset because I did purchase this vehicle roughly 6-7 months ago, and I made that decision to purchase the car then. So I can't necessarily go protest myself. I think it would be pretty idiotic to go protest because I purchased the vehicle 7 months ago and they decided to drop the value now. Now, what are the values? What are the drops? Well, they are pretty crazy, honestly. So I, for example, purchased my vehicle, I believe before tax was $68,000. I have the Model Y Performance. I got it for $68,000. That has a couple additions to it: black paint, tow hitch, white interior, no self-driving, none of that. $68,000, cool. Since then, with this new drop, I have lost roughly a little over $20,000 in sticker price value. That is insane. And remember, guys, that is not factoring in depreciation of the vehicle, me driving the vehicle and adding mileage onto it. So obviously that value that I've lost is much higher. But let's look at some of the specific numbers as to what we're dealing with. So these are the changes overnight to their vehicles. They did also make slight changes to the Model S and X. I believe roughly 10% drops, but we're not going to be discussing that in this video. We're going to be talking about the vehicles that the average person can afford. So the Model 3 rear wheel drive, their base cheapest version, yesterday was going for $47,000. This morning the car dropped to roughly $44,000, almost a 7% drop. Okay, it is what it is, not that significant. It's really only $3,000 to $4,000 difference. It is what it is. Next up, we have the Model 3 Performance, which was going for $63,000 yesterday and is now $54,000. That's a 8,000% drop in one day, a 14% decrease in price. And it gets crazier, guys. The Model Y long range was going for $66,000 yesterday, and today you could purchase it for $53,000, a 20% decrease in one day. 34. And of course, the Model Y Performance, the vehicle I currently drive, was going for $70,000 yesterday and is now going for $57,000 today, a roughly 18% decrease. So we have these insane decreases across the board, and rightfully so. You have a lot of customers upset. Now, yes, obviously you have people like me that's been driving the car for a while, and they did this, and it's pretty shitty. But at the end of the day, you can't be all that upset because, you know, I'm not really personally expecting to get anything back out of this whole scenario. I've put almost 20,000 miles on this car already. It is what it is. But for the people that purchased a car yesterday or a couple days ago, or I should say have their vehicle delivered a couple days ago, I would be furious. I was just speaking with a gentleman that purchased his Tesla Model Y Performance 2 weeks ago, or took delivery of it 2 weeks ago, and they dropped this news. And he lost out, obviously, a significant amount in depreciation just like that, or on the sale value just like that, not factoring in depreciation. But what makes this even crazier is that these prices puts Tesla in the position to receive the $7,500 tax credit on top of the value drop of the vehicle, if you can keep the purchase of the vehicle below $55,000. So you could purchase almost any of these models except the Model Y Performance and keep the cost of the vehicle before taxes below $55K, and you receive a 20%, almost a 20% drop on the Model Y long range, and $7,500 of a tax credit as well, which is really insane, really insane. And I think that's also the big thing that's getting people a little bit upset. Not only did the Tesla just tank the value of pretty much their entire fleet on the road, but they also are positioned to receive the tax credit now until the end of March. So I'm not really sure what Tesla's plan is here, or what they're going to do about all these upset customers, because you got to remember too, like, they're not really playing this both ways. I don't know if you guys remember, if you're in the Tesla world or not, but last year, back in like February or March, they kept raising prices over and over and over again. But what they started doing, because people were getting really upset, is they were announcing that prices were going to get raised ahead of time, so people could make the financial decision: do I want to purchase a Tesla now, or in a week from now, I know for a fact it's going to go up in value. That obviously could have led to some issues with scalpers and resellers and stuff like that, but Tesla has done a pretty good job at cracking down on that when it comes to people just reselling the vehicles. But now that the role is flipped and they drop the prices, obviously they're not going to announce to everyone that they're dropping the prices 20%, because everyone that just purchased a vehicle or had received a vehicle just recently would throw a fit, and rightfully so. So I don't know how they're going to rectify this. Some people are thinking they need to give current owners or people that purchased a vehicle or received delivery of a vehicle in the past year, maybe free Tesla supercharger credits, or maybe full self-driving for free, some software update or something like that. Again, me personally, although I am pretty pissed off because I purchased this vehicle 6 months ago and I've essentially lost about $20,000 to $25,000 of about $20,000 in in the value of the vehicle alone from it being brand new, but obviously more on top of that with depreciation. So this is undoubtedly, when it comes to the value of the vehicle, the worst depreciating car I've ever owned. But I will say it is also the best car I've ever owned. Now, don't get me wrong, the build quality of this vehicle is pretty rough. It's definitely not the greatest. My girlfriend has a Toyota Corolla, a 2022 Toyota Corolla, and the fit and finish, the interior is way better than my car by a long shot. But aside from that, the actual driving experience, the software that this car has, the self-driving, the supercharger infrastructure, all of that, the cost savings comparative to fuel is insane. I fill this car up every day for about $4 every day, all the days I need to fill it up, obviously. So all of that stuff definitely outweighs the cons. I'm just curious to know what they're going to do to rectify this issue, because right now, especially in China, their stores are filled with protesters wanting a rebate on the money, the difference that they just lost. Because Tesla really, I don't know if they could have done this sort of thing differently. I think it would have been best if they would have done this slow decrease in value over time, but I think their main goal was to get all of this out so that they can have a massive first quarter of 2023 right before the rebate ends at the end of March of 2023. So I think that's their plan as of now, to get as many purchases as possible. And don't get me wrong, if I didn't own a Tesla right now and I was looking at getting one, I would be buying one today, 110%. I mean, to own a Model 3 Performance for $54K and get $7,500 in tax rebate is fucking insane. It really is. That is a phenomenal deal. But I don't need another Tesla, and I'm stuck with this one right here. So it will be fascinating to see. I'm assuming, the used market for these vehicles is going to tank drastically over the coming weeks. My vehicle right now with the similar mileage is going for like low 50s. So, I already took the hit. I think my best plan personally is just enjoy this car while I have it and keep it for a long time. I'm probably not gonna try to get rid of it. My original plan was to get rid of it after like 2 years, but I feel like it's not even worth it anymore. That's that, guys. So let me know what you guys think about all this craziness with Tesla. Of course, their stock price did start to decrease today. I think they're down roughly 4%, because there's also estimates not just that Tesla decrease the value of other vehicles. Tesla is now estimated to lose about 25% revenue for quarter one because of this decrease. That is massive, but they are clearly thinking a little more long term with this move, and it makes total sense. This is going to really change the game for the majority of people that were considering moving over to EV or just buying a new car in general. Like, this really opens it up to way more people, especially that you can get that $7,500 tax credit as well. So thank you guys as always for watching. I would love to know your thoughts down below on this video, and I will catch you in the next.